Different. No, we just gonna roll with it.
Roll with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me go live on Facebook.
Thank you for helping me out today.
You're welcome, baby. Thank you for allowing me.
So you better keep breathing.
What that mean?
Oh, actually,
Oh my god.
you need that.
All right, y'all. Tatiana, can you hear me? Oh, it's for y'all on here. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, my apologies for being late. Oh, there y'all go. There y'all go. So yeah, my apologies for being late. Had some technical difficulties in the household, mentally, emotionally, and I just had to boost myself up. So I ate some chicken, some mashed potatoes, and that food made me happy. So that got me. I had to get my affirmations done and stuff. Get some sugar for my baby. He called it the power sugar, and so I am good. Monique, it should be on there. Go in the Facebook group again and then sort it by recent posts, and it should come up for you. So yeah, so that's it. But I'm here. I'm good, and I'm ready to rock. I wanted to have a PowerPoint for you guys today, but that didn't work out too good. And so we're gonna just roll with what we got. That glare was getting on my nerves, so I had to take them glasses out. But how y'all doing today? Like, how y'all week starting off so far? How are y'all doing? Let me know in the comments. Um, the lag is just. LaShawn, how you been today? How your day been? Denise, how your day been? So good evening, good evening. Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a great day. We just gonna go ahead and Tashiana, look, I feel you. It's been that kind of day. And it seemed like it just hit all of a sudden. Oh no, don't be unmotivated. Do y'all want to talk about our feelings today? Who started a schedule today? I started my schedule today and it was just a straight bomb. Like I got so behind. Didn't meet none of the timelines I had set, and it was just terrible. So hoping for a better day tomorrow on the schedule. Did anybody else start a schedule today? Like try to stick to the schedule? Kenya, you did. How did it go, Kenya? Let me know. Cause mine was just not working out. And I think what I didn't do was give myself enough time in between each activity, especially when I'm dealing with when another person is involved. So like my daughters, my husband, I needed to set more time in between. So I think I'm gonna go back and revise it and revise my times and then go from there. Um, did anybody else have a good stick to their schedule today? That's all good, kid. That's all good. Kid said it was cool, but she couldn't do much. That 84 been blowing her up, and she didn't call nobody today. And so Tashiana said no, she hasn't, and she's noticed when I don't really write stuff out that she said beforehand, it all goes over the place. Girl, even if I write it down, it just don't go well. So don't feel bad. So I think it's just I'm not doing it, realistically. And so setting those realistic times and then putting those cushions in should help me. So I'm gonna go back and revise it sometime either tonight or tomorrow. But let's roll into it. So today, it's gonna be about real estate 101 to kind of give you a little crash course for the newbies to real estate to kind of help you as far as just direction wise, getting your mindset around what niche you're going to be involved in and what you're interested in, so that when you exit the 90-day journey, you're gonna know what you're gonna do, and you're gonna know how you're gonna market and that kind of thing. All right, so does anybody know what are the types of niches, broad niches that are involved in real estate? So if I say I want to be a real estate investor, and somebody says what kind, so what kind of real estate investors are out there? Y'all let me know in the comments. Wholesaling, right? That's a form of investor. Buy and hold, right? Burr. Yup. Wholesale, tax lien, foreclosure. That's right, Monica. Thank you, Nori. So it's different kind of niches when you're talking investing. And so primarily the broad area is about 3 different categories. And so the first one will be wholesaling, and that's pretty much where you get a property on a contract and you sell the rights that you have in the contract to an end buyer. And so pretty much you'll hear people say, hey, are you selling paper? Are you wholesaling this? And that pretty much means that you put the property on a contract as if you were the buyer, but you turn around and you sell it to an investor for a fee. And that's called an assignment fee. Okay, and then you could be a buy and hold investor, and so Airbnb falls under there, landlord, group homes, assisted livings, multifamily, all that stuff falls out under buy and hold. And what it means to be a buy and hold investor is that you own property that you're going to keep, so you're not going to just flip it and put it back on the market. You're going to keep this long term. And so usually when you think of a buy and hold investor, you think of legacy, generational wealth, where you hold that property for years and years and years, and you pass it down, generation after generation. And so that's a buy and hold investor. And then you got a fix and flipper. And so what they do is buy a property at a discount, and then they rehab it or renovate it, and then they put it back on the market for a retail buyer. So like a family that wants to buy their first home or something like that. That's the market that they'll serve. And so when you're doing a buy and hold, you pretty much are going to deal with renters, whether they're short term or long term. And then when you're dealing with wholesaling, you're going to deal with investors. And so you're going to be selling property to investors. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? And so then you have different kind of exit strategies. And when I say exit strategies, I mean like, what kind of buy and hold investor are you going to be? Are you going to do Airbnbs? Are you going to do group homes? Are you going to do assisted livings, regular rentals, BRRRR, which is, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat? Or, are you going to fix and flip? What does that look like for you? And so when you wholesale, you could pretty much you don't have to ever touch your property. You can literally just make your money and go. And so it's good when you're trying to build up capital, but if you're trying to do something long term and actually be a real estate investor, then what you want to do is figure out how to maximize and jump into another strategy like fix and flip or buy and hold as soon as possible. And so big things that play into this are like having good credit. You may have cash reserves. You may have your own property already. You may be considering purchasing a second home and rent the first home. So it's different ways of doing things. And somebody might say, you know what, I don't got no money. My credit is jacked up. I don't even have anybody I can partner with, whatever the case may be. There's different ways of taking that property without your own money. And so you hear people say use other people's money, and what that means is you go and get a private lender, and you say, hey, I'm going to give you a return on your money. In the money that you lend me is going to be backed by the property. So if anything goes wrong, you can keep the property and the renovations that I've made, and then they're pretty much going to settle my debt. with you. And so that's literally like person to person. So if you guys say, hey Mashika, I know you into fix and flipping. I got about 20 grand sitting in the bank. Can you give me some interest on this money? Use it for your fix and flip, and then we keep that going. And so some of you guys may take that back seat and say, hey, I don't want to touch anything right now. I want to just invest it and maybe even watch it, be willing to watch and see how you do it. But I don't want to, put hands on. I don't like paint. I don't like property. I don't like none of that stuff. I want to be a passive investor and put my money, into it and just see that return investment, because you can build generational wealth as being a private lender as well. You just gotta, know how to do it. So yeah, those pretty much are the types of investors. And so what I want you guys to kind of figure out, by the end of the night or early tomorrow, is what kind of niche are you interested in? And don't feel like you have to box yourself in one niche, but I don't want you to kind of spread over 3 different niches at one time and think it's going to be successful. Like if you're going to stick with something, you stick with it, you learn it, and then you kind of come up with a plan of how to exit that particular niche. And so when I say that, I mean, like with this 90-day journey, as we go on to it and we get into marketing and stuff and talking to sellers, my primary focus is wholesaling, because I want to build a cash reserve for the employees that I'm going to hire in the next couple of days. And so with that being said, I'm going to do that with wholesaling. And then I'm also getting into fix and flipping, because I have private lenders who's willing to lend money on my flips and then build cash reserves with that. So if you are into making quick money, or take that back, sometimes it's not quick, but if you interested in making a big lump sum of money every time you move a property or every time you get a property under contract, then you should be looking at wholesaling or fixing and flipping. Okay. Now, if you like me, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing all this work for this investor. He giving me pennies on the dollar, which is what it seemed like. You can make a good living wholesaling, but it's so much work involved, and you'll never see that generational wealth if you don't take your money from, the wholesaling and start buying property. But that could be long term for some people, because it doesn't just happen overnight. It may take a couple of years before you actually start seeing money in the bank with wholesaling. Now, if you say, you know what, I'm tired of spending all this time, making these investors rich, I want to try my hand at this first, then you need to be seeking private money, or you can try to figure out how to use a hard money lender, with your credit, if you got good credit and stuff. And so a hard money lender is pretty much a company or an individual who has funds available for you. So it's pretty much like a baby bank, so to speak. And so you may say, okay, I want to fix and flip. I got good credit. I've owned a property before. I even have a partner who has fixed and flip before. I would like to, see if I can get approved for a hard money loan. And so what a hard money lender will do is say, hey, I'm going to look at the property value. As long as you could get it at a discount of about 70% ARV or lower, then we got a deal. And what I'll do is pay for the property. I'll buy it for you or give you the funds to buy it, and I'll pay for your renovation costs. And then you'll pay me X amount of interest on it, okay? And so with them, you'll pay interest only payments, and you'll pay on the purchase price of the property and the renovations. Now, some of them, they may not fund the renovations. They may only do the purchase prices, so you'll have to come up with the money on the renovations by yourself. Now, when you're looking at private money, some of them, they'll charge what you call points. And so points are pretty much money that you have to give up front. So say, for instance, I got $100,000 property in rehab altogether. And they say, hey, I need 1 point on this so that, I know you got some skin in the game. And so what you'll do is you turn around and you get them $1,000 for, giving you the loan. So at closing, when you close on the property, you'll give them $1,000, and then over time they'll charge you interest. And so with fix and flips, it's short term. So with that, you're probably looking at 3 to 6 months at the most when it comes to flipping a property. And so at that 3 to 6 month mark, then they're going to be looking for their total funds back. And then you're gonna have to, some of them require you to have good credit, some of them require you to own property before, some of it only land on fix and flips or short-term opportunities, like if you wanted to do a bird or something like that. But it's some lenders out there that's just real estate based, and so they'll be able to lend on a buy and hold as well. But most of the time when people say, I'm gonna do a hard money lender, then it's going to be short term, and the interest is way more expensive on a hard money lender versus a private money. And so, like I said, with a private money lender, it's just like me and you, we got an agreement. We say, I got a property, I'm gonna put $50,000 into it. I paid $50,000 for it. Can you leave me the money? And this could be somebody as personal as somebody in your family member. Y'all might be attached to some wealthy people or some well-off people who got, a couple $1,000s in the bank that's not really doing nothing. And so you can approach them and say, hey, Auntie Bam, I know you running in dough over there. You rolling in dough. You got so much dough, you don't even know what to do with it. So I'm in real estate. I got this thing going on, and make sure you go to Auntie Ben with some examples. And so try your hand at wholesaling first, so that she'll know that, hey, I got proof of concept. This is how it works. These are the numbers, that kind of thing. So you could feel like you know what you're talking about when you go to her, because sometimes you only get one shot. And so don't run Auntie BM the wrong way to the point where she don't want to invest in you because you don't know what you're talking about. So I would say approach Auntie BM, after probably about a deal to 1 to 3 deals, to say, hey, Auntie BM, can you lend me some money? Because this is what I can make. This is what my investor made, that kind of thing. Okay. So, you approach Auntie Bam, you say, hey, Auntie Bam, I'm fixing it, flipping. This is what I want to do. And you say, I'm willing to pay you some interest on your money. So normally you could pay anywhere from 4% to 11-12% on the money. Okay. And so again, it's only interest only payments, and then they pretty much you pretty much pay them off at closing. So after you sold the property to the new homeowner, you'll pretty much cut LTBM a check for the rest of her money, and then take whatever's left after that. So that's also a viable thing. So don't think that you can't get started as an investor if you don't have the money to do so, or the credit. Another way is, I asked a couple days ago, if y'all would be willing to partner up, with each other. So you may have JDO credit, but somebody else in the group may have good credit. And if y'all build a relationship, you say, you know what, we need to put this together. You know your numbers, you know how to do your deal, and then this, you don't have some experience with wholesaling. Let's do this together. I'm with a partner. We can split the profits 50-50. Y'all outline each other's duties and stuff like that. Make sure you get an operating agreement sign. And the operating agreement is pretty much saying, Mashika said she's gonna do this, and I said I'm gonna do this. Okay. And so that way, that kind of thing holds up in court. And then if y'all find yourself arguing over who's supposed to bring the lunch and who's supposed to take out the trash, then y'all can refer back to the operating agreement and say, you remember when we said this and this? Well, we don't wrote it out on paper. And so just to be clear, you were supposed to bring the chicken wings, and I was supposed to bring the Kool-Aid. So let's just be clear and make sure we get it done. Okay. So that's pretty much, private money partnerships, the kind of investing that you want to do. And so hold on, I'm Joanna Blake. That's why I needed my PowerPoint. But is anybody like brand speaking new to real estate? I know Laura is. We talked about it already. So let me know, because I need to know like which way I need to go next. And who think that they need a real estate license to get started? Let me know that in the comments as well. Okay, nobody? Everybody good? All right, y'all let me know. All right. So, you don't. That last question. Can you repeat that last question? Hold on, y'all. Diana is having a moment. But I was asking, does anybody think that they need a real estate license to get started? Or do you are you brand new to real estate? Like to the point where like some of this stuff I'm saying is just plain out Chinese. Okay. All right. So I think we're good. All right. So that's pretty much just the raw real estate basics. And so, what I want to do is talk about deal analysts. Okay. And so, when you're looking out and you say, hey, I just want to get into wholesale, I want to get my feet wet and figure out if real estate is right for me, figure out if I can kind of get the hang of it, then wholesaling is a good way to build a foundation for you to step out as an investor. Okay. So while you're wholesaling, you'll learn how to analyze a deal. And when I say that, I mean like say for instance you pull up Zillow or whatnot, and then you find a property, you say, you know what, I really like this property. It clearly needs some work. I would love to fix and flip this, or I would love to wholesale it. And so what you have to do is figure out, what the value of the property is, which you'll hear people refer to as an ARV, and which is the after repair value. So as I repair this place and I renovate it and I put all the bells and whistles into it, this is how much it's to sell for. Okay. And so that is based off of what we call comps. And that's a short way of saying comparable. So houses in an area that I could compare to the house that I'm looking at. And that'll let me know, okay, if house A and B have sold for, 160, 170, then my ARV should fall between that or somewhere close to it. Okay. And so with that, you'll figure out the ARV based off the comp. So you'll run comps first, then get your ARV. Then what you want to figure out is how to what you need to offer the seller. Okay. So this can go bad if you don't know the right way to offer. Give a seller an offer because you can buy too high. Okay. That's the biggest thing. You can't never buy too low. If you buy low enough, then you're good no matter what. But you can buy too high. And so with that, you'll be faced with, well, do I just take a loss on this property and just, fix it, flip it, or wholesale it and call it a day? Or do I go back to the seller and renegotiate? And so what we want to avoid by doing this challenge is we're not going to anybody renegotiating anything unless something comes up, after we do like a inspection and we find out like the foundation is bad, something is going on with the floors or something big that we got to miss on an inspection because there's no way to really see it just looking at it with your eyes. Okay. And so that's the main thing that you'll look for. So you're gonna run your comps, you're gonna figure out the ARV, and then you're gonna figure out what to offer the seller. And so in order to figure out an offer, you pretty much got a formula that you want to go by. And we're gonna go into that later on. And so what I want you guys to understand is that anything that I'm telling you guys, as far as just deal analysts, how to talk to a seller, what to do, what not to do, we're gonna go over that time and time again. And so we're gonna have some real life examples where I just show you guys, and then you guys are gonna join in and comp your own stuff, and we're just gonna figure it out the best way we can together. So don't worry about, oh, I don't know, or I'm new. You guys will have the opportunity to figure out how to do those things. And so the main thing when it comes to being an investor is deal analysts, talking to a seller. So that comes into negotiations, solving problems, that kind of thing. And then you also want to figure out your exit strategy. Okay. And so wholesaling is an exit strategy. Airbnb is an exit strategy. turning it into a rental. That's an exit strategy. So it's like, okay, once I acquire the property or buy the property, what am I going to do with the property to make a return on my investment? That's an exit strategy. Okay, is everybody following me so far? Is all this making sense? Tashiana, don't worry about that. We're gonna work through it together. She said, I don't know how to talk to sellers that only want to sell high. Like I get stuck. So is everybody following me? Is this making sense? Do somebody want me to stop and go back on something? Okay, makes sense. Yes, it's making sense. All right, thank you. All right, so got it. Okay, okay, great. I'm glad y'all following. All right, so let me do this, y'all. Bear with me. Um, hold on, y'all. Can I? Don't y'all start y'all forehead, people. Give me 1 second. How do I? What's that? I don't know how to do it on my phone. All right. Y'all bear with me because I'm trying to figure out how to give y'all some examples. And so, I, um, I don't know. Sorry guys, I didn't have the PowerPoint ready. But okay. So that's pretty much exit strategies, the main things that you would have to worry about. And so it's a lot as far as just a deal is concerned. Okay. So what y'all need to understand that every deal is different. You'll never have the same deal twice. You may go through the same deal, the same way, or you may go through each deal the same way, but you won't have the same, seller, the same situation. It's gonna be different for every transaction. So what you want to get in the habit of is kind of building out your tool belt to know how to deal with each, seller or situation, or not even learn how to deal with it because you're not gonna be able to. But hook yourself up with people who, been there, done that, and kind of real versed in how to navigate with that kind of thing. And so like I said, the first step to finding the deal is pretty much saying, okay, well, what kind of investor do I want to be? And so I say, well, I may want to be a fix and flipper. So where do I go to find these kind of properties? So you could deal with the wholesaler. And so say for instance, I come in and I say, you know what, Mr. or Mrs. Fix and Flipper, I have this deal that I'm working on. I got it at a real good discount, and here are the details. Here's what I estimated for the rehab, that kind of thing. And so you take a look at it, you run your comps, and you figure out what's going to be a good offer for, or if they're selling it at a good price. And so built into their purchase price that they're going to give you is their assignment fee. And so you pretty much pay them to find the deal or bring you the deal to them. And so that's why they get an assignment fee. They get paid for assigning or selling you the deal. Okay. So you can go on Zillow. You can talk to an agent and say, hey, I'm an investor in an area. This is my criteria, which is what kind of property you want to buy. And so every investor is different. So you're not going to have the same criteria so much so unless you just say, hey, I want to just do what everybody else is doing or what's normal. Because in the buy and hold space, you'll hear people say the 1% rule. And so what that means is that if I buy a property, I need my rent to be 1% of the purchase price. So if I buy $100,000 property, the rent need to be at least needs to be $1,000 a month in order for the deal to make sense. Now, in certain markets, you'll realize that doesn't make sense. And when I say markets, I mean states or cities or towns. And so in certain markets, you'll figure out that, hey, that 1% rule doesn't exist here. So you got to get creative and figure out your specific market and what does a good deal look like there. So a very common mistake is when people get into real estate or they get into wholesaling, they watch all these YouTube videos and they say, hey, just offer 50% of the ARV or just offer 60 or 70%. That is not working every market. And so the best thing for you to do is find somebody in your local backyard or start looking at data. And when I say data, I mean, you got tools like PropStream, you got Zillow out there, and you can go look at the past solds in your area and see what was bought with cash. And so when you deal with an investor or when you wholesale and you talk to your seller, you say, hey, I'm a cash buyer. And what that means is, I'm not looking to get any financing on the property or anything. I'm willing to bring you the full total price at closing, so you'll walk away with your lump sum. Okay. And so with that, you can look, whether it's in your county, whether or at your county office, or whether it's PropStream or Zillow, you can look on there and figure out what the sales in the area that were cash. So that means what is the investor willing to pay for that? So once you start narrowing that down by like zip code, by street, whatever the case may be, or neighborhood. So I would go as far as a neighborhood, and then you kind of build it out as far as a zip code. You'll understand your market and you'll know what a good deal is based on how much somebody is willing to pay for this specific area. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have like those neighborhoods in your state or in your city where you go to and you say, you know what, they got some pretty big houses or some pretty high dollar houses up there. So what they'll pay in that neighborhood won't be the same as if you go down to the into the hood and you renting a property out there. It'll be a totally different price point. And so in order to understand that price point, you have to look at the data and you have to run comps and you have to start figuring out ARVs. And so the more often you start looking at the data, the better you'll be able to understand it and get back to the seller with the offer quickly. Okay. And so what you'll learn in this industry is that time kills all deals. So if you're twiddling your thumbs and you waiting about a week to get back to the seller because you don't reach out and say, hey, I need help figuring this out, then you more than likely going to lose the deal. Unless you're in a small town and you're the only wholesaler or investor there. So with that, you want to make sure that you understand what you're doing or you reach out for help. And so in the beginning, you're not going to be well versed in comps. And you're going to, kind of doubt yourself and say, you know what, I don't even got this right. I didn't do this right at all. And I just don't know. So I'm going to just throw it out there or not throw it out there at all. I'm going to just keep running comps or keep trying to figure out the same old thing. And so the best thing for you to do is just reach out to somebody and say, hey, I don't understand this. Can you help me run comps? I got this lead that I'm, trying to get over the finish line and I just need some help. So could you check my numbers and do that? And so you just do that and just, get to the point where you're confident in your numbers and you feel like you, did the right estimates and that kind of thing. Honey. So yeah, so that's pretty much deal analyst. And so then you have your marketing. That's what I was talking about. Purchasing for a wholesaler, or you can purchase on Zillow, or you could go to your local tax auction, your local foreclosure auction. You could go to you could buy land. You could just go to different sales that you see. So if you see somebody they might be having an estate sale or something like that, you can go and say, hey, are you guys selling this house? And so you really want to open your mind to as far as just possibilities is concerned with buying a property, because there's more than one ways to do it. What if there's no comps around your house for sale? How to figure out the ARV then? If you don't know, if there's no comps available, then you should be you probably shouldn't be buying in that area unless you know it through and through. And so I want, if you can't see comps, if you can't see sales in the area, then it's probably something that an investor won't buy. And so you shouldn't even waste your time on it. Sherry, what did you want me to repeat exactly? So yeah, it's multiple places to find a deal, and don't shy away from different kind of real estate. So you can look at land, you can look into mobile homes, because it's a buyer out there for every single thing. Just recently with the whole Airbnb wave, people have started flipping campers, like the little campers that you take cross country. They're flipping those and they're hosting those as Airbnb. And so it's many different ways that you could go when it comes to just investing and figuring out what you can buy and kind of make a profit off of. And so, the best thing for you to do is just make connections and figure out, okay, what is my niche? What am I looking to invest in? How much money should I be making for this to make it worth my time? And is that amount of money even possible off of these kind of properties? Okay. And I encourage you guys to be more open to different possibilities as far as just property is concerned, especially when just starting out, because you can always just sell something when you get it. So you say, okay, well, I just want to come up from this, and I just want to focus on like upscale neighborhoods to do fix and flips, or have rentals out there, then that's fine. You can also be specific about what kind of people you want to serve. And so when I say that, I mean, do you want to serve people who have, get qualified for Section 8? Do you want to serve veterans? Do you want to serve the elderly? Do you want to serve, the young family who's looking for their first home? Do you want to serve homeless people or people that do transitional homes? They rather rent out a room. So there's many different ways that you could just invest. It's just a matter of figuring out what you'll be comfortable with. What's your vision for your business? What are you capable of doing as far as financing, as far as getting approved for, like loans and, credit lines, that kind of thing. Also, we're going to get into the business credit. And so when we start building our business credit, you'll be able to get, credit lines or trade lines from different retailers where you could buy materials. So like Lowe's and Home Depot and, different, retailers where you could buy building materials from in order to renovate a property. And so, I mean, if you got good credit, then you in the game already. If you don't, we're going to work on that. So, don't feel like I can't do this because of this, and this. The more barriers you put up, the more farther away you're going to get from your goal. So the best thing for you to do is, for every obstacle you see, figure out how to make it an opportunity, or think of it as an opportunity for you to get to where you're trying to go. Okay. The only reason the obstacle come up is because you getting closer to where your goal is, or you getting closer to making your dreams come true. And so just see it as an opportunity and figure out what is the solution to this obstacle. What kind of hammer do I need to beat this down and keep it moving and get it out my path? All right. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, I got one thumbs up. Okay, cool. If y'all was all on YouTube, I would share my screen and show y'all stuff. Cause I feel like I'm just talking in the thin air, and y'all can't even take notes or nothing. Is y'all taking notes? Help me. Because I think what we're going to do is I'll just run through a slideshow real fast tomorrow, but we'll get more hands-on where y'all can follow along and y'all can see what I'm talking about instead of me just talking. Does that sound like a good idea? All right. So if y'all got questions, ask me some questions. All right, good, LaShawn. That makes me feel good. So if y'all got some questions, put those in the chat and we can go from it. Like, ask me stuff that y'all done heard about. Ask me stuff that y'all been thinking about. All kind of stuff. Just ask it. And then we just gonna answer some questions, and then tomorrow I'll be better prepared for you guys. Okay, thank you, Laura. Yeah, I got any questions? I mean, anything real estate related. It. Like, what y'all want to learn to make y'all feel confident enough to go out here and be a real estate investor or be a wholesaler or analyze a deal, submit offers, that kind of thing. Let me know. Ask me anything. Oh, how do you go about non-disclosure states? Okay, Nori. So, what in real estate you'll have what people refer to as a disclosure or non-disclosure state. And so a disclosure state is pretty much they have data galore. You can pull it up on the internet, you can go down to your county and get it. It's available for you on any of these real estate apps, that they give you to use as far as a tool is concerned to get you closer to the sellers. Okay. And so a disclosure state, like I said, is just open availability to the information to be able to run comps and see, recent sales in the area and analyze a deal. Okay. So Nori said, how do you go about the non-disclosure states? Well, a non-disclosure state is a state who doesn't have the information out there available for you can just pull it up on an app and there you go, you got it. So with that, it's laws in place in certain states where they say, hey, it's not okay to put my business out there about my house, about the sales that I had in the area. Like, it's not okay. Don't tell them people nothing about, how much money I done made on my property or how long I don't own my property and nothing. Don't tell them nothing. And so they put laws in place where you can't have that easy access to that information. And so what you have to do is partner up with a real estate agent and say, hey, I'm willing to buy you lunch. I'm willing to pay you, whatever you need. But I just need comps on these properties and make sure that it's a real estate agent who's, understand the MLS and has been doing, has sold houses or been a real estate agent for a while. And then you ask them to run comps for you because that's the only way you'll be able to get comps in the non-disclosure states is by purely getting it from the agent. Now, if you want to go out there and get your real estate license so that you can have access to it yourself, then by all means do that. But no, when you get your real estate license, you're going to be under different kind of scrutiny when you're dealing with sellers and things of that nature. Not saying it's going to stand in your way, but if you say, like, if you're married or you got a sister or something, you can say, hey, go get your license and we're just going to hold them, and then we're going to use the access that real estate licenses grant us with that, which is like access to the MLS, which is called a multiple listing service. And that's pretty much where all the listings are, housing listings are hosted for agents and things of that nature. So every agent goes to the MLS and they'll list a house. Okay. And so if you want access to that and you're married, say you talk your husband or your wife into going to get their license, but they really don't do nothing with it. They just pay the fees and hang it with the brokerage or whatever the case may be, but you guys still have that access. And so it'll save you money if you do want to flip. And so, you're not really paying your spouse. You keep your own money and you don't have to worry about coming out your pocket to pay another agent a commission. And so once you sell your flip, you don't got to worry about coming out your profits to pay the agent. Y'all just keep everything. And so it's kind of a win-lose situation with the with the license, because when you get into wholesaling and and approaching an agent on your own or a seller on your own, you have to disclose that you're an agent, and the things that you could do with it as a wholesaler you won't be able to do as a real estate agent, because of that scrutiny and because of different things that your brokerage may require you to do according to their rules and regulations. Does that make sense? Right. Like Kenya said, she said you have to work under a broker, and that's booty because they'll probably want a percentage of your wholesale fee, which is right. And some brokerages don't even allow you to wholesale. So say for instance something comes across your desk, it doesn't meet your criteria, but you want to still make money off of it, then you should be able to wholesale it. But some of them don't even allow you to wholesale. So you really got to think about, okay, what do I really want to do as far as real estate is concerned? Because if you don't ever want to get into wholesaling or wholesale anything, then that's fine. Go get your real estate license. But please, please, please don't be out here like an agent, because agents really aren't in real estate. They're just, agents, and most of them deal with the retail side of things. And so if you get your real estate license, you need to be having an investor mind to say, I'm just getting this as a tool. I'm not out here trying to be a real estate agent. Okay. And no offense to my real estate agents out there. We love you guys and we appreciate everything that you do. Please convert to an investor. So in the wholesaling industry, you'll come around people or you'll come across people who say, don't work with real estate agents. So Nori said, why do some people suggest not to work with real estate agents? Well, because real estate agents, like I said, are not investor minded. Most of them. They're taught how to serve the retail customer. And what that means is, like I said before, that family that's looking for a home, they're trained to search down. So when you come to them talking about wholesaling, when you come to them talking about creative finance and stuff like that, they're lost in the sauce because they don't understand. They school did not teach them that stuff. They're not required to. They're just simply teaching them how to, approach a family or, approach anybody that, wants to buy or sell their property, on the retail market. And so people will tell you not to work with them because they don't have an investor mindset. They don't work with investors, and so they don't understand you. So when you go to them, you pretty much speaking Chinese. And so I don't encourage you not to work with them because they can definitely bring in a lot of revenue and be useful to you. I encourage you to educate them, once you have the education yourself, and then find the right ones that are investor friendly or that are open to education. Does that make sense? Kenya, thank you for bringing it up. So Kenya said states are trying to force real estate license on you, and so you can avoid it by double closing instead. And so there is a lot of, it was really loud last year about how states are cracking down on wholesaling and they're requiring you to get a license. And so that's why this is an investor challenge. And I'm not trying to teach you guys wholesaling, because wholesaling, I don't see it really going away no time soon, but it's coming. It's becoming where they're creating more hurdles that you have to jump through. So the best thing for you to do is, if you're going to put time and energy into this thing, you might as well be an investor instead of just a wholesaler in itself, because you won't have to worry about all this stuff in the long run. And so if your state does require you to have a real estate license, to go ahead and get it. And then you can still wholesale and then also do the retail market as well. So do a little Google search and say, hey, is wholesaling real estate illegal in whatever your state is, and see what comes up. Excuse me, y'all. When will you know to double close if the assignment fee is over $10,000? So pretty much it's a lot. I'll say double closing is taboo. People recommend you double close so that the seller won't see your assignment fee, that kind of thing. I don't recommend using double closing for that. I recommend using double closing. And sorry, you guys, for you all that don't know what double closing is. So let me back up. Okay. And so with double close, when we say double close, that means you have two closings that you're going to do on one property. Okay. So say for instance, Nori comes to me and she say, Mashika, I want to buy this property from you. Okay. Or let's start with the seller. So Nora comes to me, she's the seller. She said, hey Mashika, I know that you're into the real estate industry. I have this property over here that I want to sell. That kind of thing. Okay, good, Sherry. Thank you. So I have this property that I want to sell. I noticed you're into buying real estate and that kind of thing. So would you be interested? And Nori says, yeah, of course. And so they get to the point where they're doing paperwork. Okay, they're doing a contract. And so Nora reads my contract and she sees what we call wholesaling verbiage. And so what that means is you'll see something that says as is assigns, and that pretty much means that I have the right to assign this contract to somebody else if I don't want it. And so she may see stuff like my due diligence period for 30 days, which means like, why can't we close on this immediately? You said you were buying the property as is. Why do you need 30 days? That kind of thing. And so I say, okay, Nori, no problem. Sometimes we do wholesale properties, but in this case, I understand your concerns and things of that nature. So I'll get you our other contract where you don't have that verbiage in there. And so you kind of place into a dilemma there. I'll take that back. You're not placing a dilemma, but you have to do an extra step in order for you to still be able to wholesale this, because you're going to wholesale it if that's what you're into. And so what you'll do is you turn around to your end buyer, or you go to your attorney, your real estate attorney, you say, hey, I got this deal, I need to still wholesale it, but I don't want to. So I need it to be a double close. And what that means again is you close twice on the same property. And so the only way you could double close is one, you got the money in the bank to be able to purchase this property. Or two, you use what we call a transactional lender or a transactional funder, and they're pretty much going to be your lender for this deal. And it's a very, very short-term lender because you give them they receive their money back in a couple of hours, okay, at max. So you pay them a percentage for, and it's usually really, really small, like maybe 2-3% or whatnot. And so you say, hey, I got this deal that I'm working on. I'm looking to, double close on it, but I need you to lend me the money for the purchase. And what they'll do is wire the money to the title company, and you close on that first contract with the seller, okay? Then you turn around and you sell that property to the end buyer. And so pretty much you wholesale the deal to the end buyer, but you use the double close. Okay. And so you did the second closing. You did the first closing with the seller, and you did the second closing with the buyer. And that's why it's called a double closing, because it's two closings and you'll pay two separate closing costs and things of that nature. But you don't need your own money to do it. You can use a transactional lender, but you have to make sure that it's legal in your state to do a double close, because some title companies and some closing attorneys won't allow you to do it. Because I know in South Carolina, a lot of people don't know about transactional funding. And so it can be challenging depending on the attorney. So we got to figure out how to get you guys like the best attorneys in y'all locations, because an attorney can make or break a deal, okay? So if they don't know what they're doing, they messing up, they dragging their feet and stuff like that, then trust me, it's not going to be good for you. And so we're going to take some time to vet you guys' closing attorneys and title companies so that we make sure that you're in the right place. And then you guys don't have to worry about your deals falling out or having trouble with getting things taken care of, okay? So does that answer your question, Nori, about the double close? And that's another thing. She said about the $10,000. Now, if you get to the point and you feeling some type of way, or you get a little scared or fearful because you're making over $10,000 on a wholesale fee, then you didn't do the right thing with your seller. And when I say that, I mean you didn't build the right rapport. And rapport is pretty much, having, I would call it a short-term relationship with someone. They like you, they like your personality, y'all talk good, y'all have very good conversations, that kind of thing. Okay. And so you must have not did that with the seller. You must have not been honest and transparent with the seller or any of that stuff. And so if a seller sees that you made $100,000 on a deal, so when you get your HUD back from the closing attorney, and they see that you made $100,000 on a deal, They shouldn't have a problem with that. If they do and you want to cover it up because you feel like it's too much money and they're going to feel some type of way about you making that much kind of money on their property, then something didn't go right when you dealt with that seller. Okay. So Lord said, my husband and I have been calling us. My husband and I have people calling us almost every day asking if we want to sell our house. Is this wholesaler? We also receive mails saying the same thing. Yes, Lord, those are wholesalers, okay? And so when we get to the marketing piece, what you're receiving is cold calls and direct mail, okay? So my husband laughing. So that's definitely a wholesaler or wholesalers reaching out to you guys. So Laura, you should call them and say, hey, I'm getting into real estate. I would love to do this with you. Tell me more about what you got going on in your business, and maybe we could work something out together, where we help each other, grow in this industry. I would love to meet you, sit down for coffee or something like that. So do that, and you're probably gonna blow their mind with it. But somebody who's really interested in collaborating with you, you hopefully you'll get a good bite on that. So make sure y'all call them back. So Nori asks, how do I avoid EMD? Okay. You just can't. You just can't. Now, in the beginning, when I first started wholesaling, I said, you know what? I ain't putting no money in my pocket, and I really didn't know no better because I was just self-taught. And so I ain't never put no money up for no EMD. I always had my buyer do it. So I hold on to the contract until I secure a buyer, and then put it up, use their money and say, yeah, go ahead, put your cash, check, go call the attorney, drop it off here. This is the amount, and they do it. And it worked by the grace of God. But you guys got to make sure that you can afford your EMD. And if you can't, then you need to partner with somebody who can afford it, okay? So with that, you want to you can start off as small as you want, okay? You can say $10. Make sure you got the $10 though when you put it on the contract, because you're gonna have to turn it into the closing attorney or title company within 48 hours, more than likely, okay? So make sure that you got the money to be able to do that. And the purpose of I'm sorry for the guys who don't know, EMD is your earnest money deposit. So that means your good faith deposit to say that this contract is legit and that is real. You want to make sure that you put some money on it, okay? And so with that, it pretty much guarantees you the purchase of the property. If all else works out with title work and things of that nature, you'll be able to purchase the property with no problem. And then it secures your place, so the seller can't, go behind your back and try to sell the property or anything like that to anybody else, because you don't put down the earnest money deposit, okay? So what I mean, Ken, is it validates your contract, okay? Oh, you said... So what I mean, Kenya, is when I said I held my contract, what I did is once I got it signed by the seller, it would sit in my email or it would sit in my hand, and until I got a buyer, I wouldn't turn it in to the closing attorney or the title company. So don't do that. Make sure you always turn it in once you get it signed and put down your earnest money deposit. All right. All right. Y'all ask me something else. I'm glad y'all getting this. This made me feel real good. Like y'all a sharp bunch. Like we're gonna be rolling through this thing, and I know y'all just gonna be so successful with this. I just know it. So let me know. Are y'all ready to get into comping and learning about how to navigate, conversations with sellers and all that good stuff? Y'all ready for that? Because if y'all ready, we just gonna hit the ground rolling this week. I'm trying to tell y'all. Yes. Who it is? LaShawn. Yes. Okay. Good. Like, is y'all still scared? Y'all still fearful? Y'all still operating in the limits of beliefs? Y'all let me know. If y'all is, it's okay. But we gonna have to work through that. Okay, definitely going to LaShawn, definitely. So y'all still nervous? Y'all still over there shaking in your boots and stuff like that? Or y'all ready to walk away? You say, you know what? I feel like I'm in good hands. I feel like we're gonna be able to figure this thing out as a team, and I'm just ready. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling. LaShawn say we ain't never scared. I'm scared, but scared money don't make no money. That's right, Didi. So I'm excited. So tomorrow, what I'm gonna do is put together the slideshow. Okay, we're gonna have a slideshow tomorrow, and then we're gonna roll into let me think. I want to do deal analysis first, but I also want to teach y'all who is brand spanking new to real estate, to the point where we need to go into, like, we really need to break down the different niches and stuff like that so you know what's available to you. And we need to break down verbiage and terminology and stuff. So when I say ARV and EMD, y'all get lost in the sauce. No, Kenya, don't do that. Kenya said she planned on doing a 10-day inspection contingency and pay EMD during those 10 days so I could find my end buyers so they can pay it instead. Don't do that, Kenya. That is the wrong way. As soon as you get your contract signed by your seller, you need to deposit the EMD. Okay, Laura said she a little lost in the sauce. Anybody else? Brand spanking new? Because I think I'm going to just put the slideshow together and we're going to go over some verbiage and stuff like that. And then we'll roll into probably the second half. We'll do 2 hours tomorrow. And then the second half after the slideshow, I'll show y'all some comps and how to find data for comparables and stuff like that. That sound good? Denise, what's all them periods about? Kenya, don't listen to Jerry Norton, honey. Even though I've been trying to learn this wholesaler for about 10 months. All right. That's fine, Kayla. All right. All right. So we're gonna like ready. Okay, Denise, be ready, girl. So we're gonna end it today. If y'all ain't got no more questions for me today, and y'all let me know. I'm trying to think, because we could go so many different ways with it, but I think if we go into comping first so that y'all can analyze the deal, and then we go into stuff like marketing and talking to sellers, then it'll be better for you guys then. Because that way we can go through the assembly line of how, a deal would kind of be put together. Excuse that beat. So y'all want to comp tomorrow? Y'all want to comp? Y'all want to see how to figure out the ARV? Y'all want to know how to submit an offer? That kind of thing tomorrow? Yes, I'm familiar, but I mean, I don't like just sitting there scrolling through the streets trying to find something, because everybody's Google images isn't up to date. So you'll be looking at old data, LaShawn, and it's not the right data. Yes, I don't know how to analyze a deal with kind of, but I need help with that. All right, so we're gonna do some deal analysis tomorrow, and we'll go from there. And if y'all want me to show y'all how to comp your property, so if you've been driving for dollars, or you've been talking to sellers, or you've been wholesaler before and you got some properties that you've been looking at that you're trying to wholesale, then sending those addresses to the email. I'm gonna put it on here. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the email. Y'all just send them in there. And then say, come this Mashika in the subject line. That way I know. Okay. Excuse my forehead, yeah, and my face. Looking like a toddler trying to take a picture. How's it out? Okay. 90-day journey. I don't know why I was doing that, y'all. But they go to email. And then y'all put on the subject line. Subject. Thank you, Deidre girl. All right. So, do y'all got some properties to send me? Let me know in the comments now so I can look it out. Look out for them. Cause I know some of y'all been driving for dollars and doing stuff. And so I think what I'm gonna do for y'all as far as just action tonight and tomorrow is y'all go on Zillow, go on Redfin, go drive your neighborhood, just your neighborhood now. You ain't got to be driving all over your city, but go in your neighborhood, go on Zillow and find three properties for sale in your neighborhood that need some work. Okay, so go through the pictures and stuff if they have them, and then send it put it in the email and you send it. Okay, find three of them. So you can go in your neighborhood, find some houses that need work, write down the address on a little list. You can find three of them, or you can go on Zillow and type in your city and state into Zillow and then find some houses for sale that needs work, and then send me three of those. Okay, so send me three total properties, whether you're going to drive in your neighborhood to find them, or if you're going to go on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor somewhere for sale, and then I'll come for you live so that you can see how to do it. Okay. Do you prefer to have arranged to offer someone before calling if you did drive for dollars? Nora, we're gonna go over acquisitions. We can go over it. All right. Nora said, can you go over the difference between acquisitions and dispositions? Okay. So in wholesaling, you when you talking to a seller, you submit an offer, you get your offer accepted. That's called acquisitions, which is aka acquiring the property. Okay. So once you got a property under contract or you acquire the property, you got to figure out how to exit. So that could be your wholesaler, your fix and flip, your buying but hold. So that will fall under dispositions. How am I going to get rid of this property or do something with the property? Whether that's wholesaling or whatever the case may be. As far as the extra strategy is concerned. So acquisitions is talking about acquiring it, so dealing with the seller, and dispositions is pretty much talking about dealing with the somebody who's going to occupy the property or an investor who's going to buy the property from you. Okay. Do you prefer to already have arranged to offer someone before calling? If you did drop for dollars, no, I do not recommend you have arranged. I don't recommend you doing comps. I don't recommend you doing nothing before you call a setup, but finding the address and figuring out if this is the real owner. That's it. Because when you start doing all these numbers and stuff like that, you waste your time. One, if they say no, this ain't, I'm not selling. You also get what's a good word for it? You get offer thirsty. Okay. What that means is you so thirsty or you so, ready to give this seller an offer, but you give them an offer and you might go too high or you might go too low and offend the seller, and then you lost it. So Don't do anything about numbers before you actually figure out, hey, this is the real owner, and if they really want to sell. Once you talk to your seller and you know, hey, they want to sell, you know, they're interested in doing this or whatever, then you start running comps, okay? So if you worried about, oh, I don't have enough for my first call, well, you could tell them, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, we don't spend our time, you know, coming up with offers for our sellers, because one thing for sure, we want to make sure that we talk to our homeowners first before just throwing out some crazy number to people, because we're relationship forward. You know, we're interested in not just buying your property, but making sure that you're treated right and you've treated fairly by the end of this transaction. And so if we feel like we're a good fit together, me and you, then we'll prepare an offer for you based off of your needs. Okay? That's simple. That's simple. And people gonna be like, okay, well, when should I hear back from you? Or you just tell them we'll schedule another call for, you know, Monday at 2:00, whatever the case may be. Right, Monica. Monica said due diligence first. And what that means is figuring out if this is the right person, figuring out how much work the property need, that kind of thing. So anything, due diligence is pretty much doing anything you need to do before you commit. And little do you know, once you get that offer out, you committed to that offer. Because once they say yes or once they say no, you stuck there at that offer. Okay? Does that make sense? Didi said she wasted a lot of time like that. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, better save your time, especially if you only got a limited time. So don't be going out here comping all these properties, and you'll find out by the time you talk to the seller that you should never even comp the property. Your time is valuable, so act like it is, and make sure that you're doing your money making activities, which is talking to the seller, getting in contact with them first, then you comping the property. Because if they come off the rip and they say, okay, well, you know, I want $100,000 and the property is only worth 20,000. Well, what you gonna do then? And you done prepared this so-called offer that they never gonna accept because they want too much money. Does that make sense? Kayla, message me on Facebook, Kayla. She said she found some properties, but the address won't come up on PropStream or AI. All right, send me a message, Kayla, and I'll take a look at them. Didi said I would do my numbers and call them, and when it was a no. But because I was so new, it took me a very long time to analyze it, like an hour just for a no. It was so frustrating. See, that's what I'm talking about. So y'all better learn from Didi experience, spending an hour on one property, then calling the people and they tell her no, they don't want to sell. Waste of time, and it'll kill your spirits real quick. So Didi, thank you for not letting that get you down and get out of races, okay? So hear me loud and clear. Do not comp your properties. Come up with an offer, come up with an ARV before you have that first conversation with your seller. Okay? Can everybody put that in the comments? When should you come up with an offer, run comps, or do ARV? Tell me in the comments so I know y'all got it. I need 5 responses on Facebook and 8 responses on YouTube. Let me hear it. And the only reason I'm comping y'all properties for right now is just for a proof of concept to show y'all how to analyze a deal when the time comes, okay? So do we need to do it backwards and focus on sellers first, then comping? That way I can get it in your mind that, you know, that's the way it should be done? Let me know. After speaking with the seller. Great job, Summer. After speaking with the seller. All right. I'm going to give y'all some more time. I'm going to be right back. Excuse y'all. back. All right. I always come first. Don't do that no more, LaShawn. Do not do it before talking to the seller. Thank you, Lord. As I speak with the seller who is motivated. Key, Stephanie, thank you for hitting on that. Okay. So motivation. Let's talk about motivation. Do anybody know what motivation is? If you do, put it in the comments. If not, we're going to go through it. What does motivated mean, Stephanie? Help us out with motivation. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that sound like? And this is going to help. Thank you, Stephanie. Like, that was amazing. Okay. So after we figure out what motivation is, then we're going to go into pretty much what property you should go after as an investor because you're going to get the best deals. So what is motivation, Stephanie? What makes a seller motivated? What does that look like? And if anybody else know, go ahead, drop it in the comments so I can know where y'all at with it. And did y'all catch our homework? I just want to be sure. Because I don't want nobody calling tomorrow and say, I don't know what the homework is for Sheikah. Or I don't want to just get one email in my inbox the whole night and the whole day before 7 o'clock tomorrow because y'all don't know what your homework is. So let me know what your homework is in the comments too. Someone said a motivated seller is someone who's already looking to sell or has a reason to sell. Yes, that's part of it. Summer. Stephanie, did you leave me, Stephanie? There you go. They are ready to sell for whatever reason. Could be they lost their job or are several months behind. Okay? That sounds bad, but I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Cha-ching. Let that get in your spirit. Cha-ching. Because you make money off of solving problems, okay? I mean, think about the world. Think about when you walk into Walmart or you walk into your favorite grocery store and you see stuff all around. How did this stuff come about? How did ketchup come about? You know, how did mattresses come about? Turtlenecks come about? Everybody had a problem that needed to be solved. You know, mattress. I'm tired of sleeping on the floor. I need something cushiony to sleep on. Let's build a mattress. Cha-ching. Oh, I'm tired of just having nothing for my French fries. I need something more tasty. I need something to give my French fries life. Let's invent ketchup. Cha-ching. Oh my God, I'm tired of my neck being cold. I got this long on neck. And I just need something to cover up my neck, but I don't want to wear a scarf. So can we just make a turtleneck? Cha-ching. Okay. Is y'all getting it? Is y'all catching it? So the more problems a seller has or the bigger the problem is, and you're able to solve it, listen, they ain't gonna care how much you make on the deal. They just want to know that you can help them out of their situations. And so, like Stephanie said, you may have a seller who is several months behind on their mortgage. Okay, they have no way of getting out of the mortgage whatsoever. They don't have a cousin that they can call to catch them up. You know, they don't have enough time to be able to, you know, catch up the mortgage or anything like that. That's a problem that you can solve. Okay. So if they have enough equity in their house, aka money paid into the house, then they can afford to sell you their property at a discount. All right. So that's good. So motivation is pretty much saying, hey, I got this and this and this reason to sell this property. And I need to go as soon as possible. I don't got time to waste. I needed to sell it like yesterday. You know, can you help me? And so that could be, you know, they're behind on their taxes. They're behind on their mortgage. They just inherited a property that they can't afford because somebody in their family passed away. You know, the house is distressed, and what that means is, you know, it has some kind of issues with it, whether it's buying on taxes or the roof is caving in, they can't keep the maintenance up on the property, that kind of thing. And so when we talk about driving for dollars, What is what we're looking for? A distressed property, a property that looks distressed, but you don't know what the problem with the property is. So when I said go in your neighborhood and find 3 properties to see for your homework, then that means go in your neighborhood and find the houses with the tall grass and the shutters falling off. Find the properties with the roof looking like it's about to fall in at any minute. Find the property with the trees laid out in the yard because the tree don't fell 3 years ago and nobody came to get it. Find a property with the broken windows. Find the property that you know for a fact nobody ever lived in for the past 2 years. Find those properties that look like, you know what? I don't know what happened here, but it's trash all in the yard. It's abandoned cars in the yard. You know, it's just an eyesore for the neighborhood. Find those properties, okay? Because those people are going to be most likely willing to sell at a discount because they are motivated to buy the problems that they have or buy the solutions that you can bring them to help them, get rid of this property, stress free. Okay. So keep that in mind. Do not run your comps until you know for a fact that your seller got some kind of issue or problem that you could solve, or they're serious about selling. So even though they don't have any issues that you can really solve, and it's as simple as solving their issue as in buying their house, but they have like a realistic purchase price and that kind of thing, you can still deal with them. A lot of the times in the industry, you say, hey, if they ain't got a problem to solve or the house doesn't need that much work, you shouldn't deal with them. Don't listen to those people, okay? My first wholesale deal, the property needed no work, okay? No work. And I sold it, to somebody who's going to live in a property. And so you can wholesale anything, okay? As long as the number makes sense, it don't matter if the property was just built yesterday or if it's burnt down, burnt down and it's looking like it need to be just demoed. It doesn't matter. It's a buyer for everything. You just got to know how to put the deal together, okay? You don't go find deals. You create deals. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to do that, and then we'll go from there. And so I look forward to, like, when we get into marketing and stuff like that, we start talking to sellers and we find these problems out here. I look forward to y'all bringing me stuff that I don't know nothing about, because guess what? We're gonna get to learn together. We're gonna get to learn together and expand our tool belt based off the experience. So I'm ready for y'all to bring it all. Like, I'm excited. I love solving problems. I love providing sellers with solutions. And the harder it is, the harder I go. Okay. So bring it on, y'all. Bring it on. So thank you again for Stephanie for that help. So again, think about different problems that people have in real estate. Whether they can't, like, who y'all probably, I don't know, y'all may have who done got a letter on their door or drives around town and they see like a yellow, a white, a pink, or a red notice on somebody's door. Anybody ever seen that? Some kind of sign on somebody's door, and you can tell that the property has been vacant. Nobody stays in there. Has anybody ever seen that around their neighborhood? In South Carolina or in Columbia, they yellow. And it might say like no trespassing or something like that. Like, this property is in violation. Has anybody ever seen that around town? Ashley, you seen it? Okay. Anybody else? Ashley, do you know what that is? When you see that paper on the door, do you know what that means? Nobody else ain't seen that paper on nobody's door. Yes, Ashley. Code violation. So you driving in the neighborhood, you see these papers on people's door, different colors. It just depends on your city. Ours is yellow. Let me see if I can find one on here. Sorry, Facebook. Just search on Google code violation, and then y'all can see it. And do it for your state. do it for your city. So you say code violation paper or code violation notice for like Columbia, South Carolina, and see what comes up. Or whatever your city or state is. I'm sorry. Ooh, we got all kind of ones. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find a good one. This one kind of blurred out. I'm trying to figure out what the actual violation was for her. Answer, general welfare. I don't know. Let me look at her. That ain't the one. All right, we ain't gonna be too fancy. Let me just show y'all this one. All right, so let me share my screen on YouTube. All right, let me know if y'all can see this. All right, y'all should be able to see it. All right, so this right here is a code violation letter that somebody received in their house. Okay, and so it pretty much tell you the attorney and all that, and then it says, "Wait, this ain't it. Hold on, y'all. This is not it. Let me find a different one. So this one say notice of violation, but let me see what it says." See, you don't tell me. Dang, I wish I had one. And I probably got one on my phone, but anybody got time to be searching for that? Cause the premises to be clear and clean with the total expense. Property. Okay, here's one. All right, we got it this time, guys. I promise. Let me open this one up. Can I click on it? Oh, I can zoom in. Okay, cool. All right, so let me show y'all this right quick. Okay, can y'all see this? I'm gonna try to make it just a tad bit bigger. And it'll probably be best if I let me do it like this. All right, can y'all see that? All right. So for this one, it says that including any not improving the city. So it's basically saying that they haven't been maintaining the property. And so right here you can see where it says public nuisance. So if you know what a nuisance is, that means that they are being a problem. Okay. And so with that, they're violating whatever laws the county or the state has in action or in place for it. Okay. So right here it say that they had overgrowth on the lawn, grass, weeds, or foliage. They had trash and rubbish and paper, and they refused the garbage, the yard waste, or debris. They have abandoned cars and stuff like that. So reading this, you could tell that these people got a problem. Something that happened with this property, and y'all need to be getting in contact with this person, okay? And so it'll tell you like they have to clean it up or they get charged. And as you can see, they have a timeline as far as when they're supposed to clean it up. So they give them 10 days to be able to correct it, and then they come back out and make sure they correct it and then take it off, okay? And so even every state, every county has this right here, which is called a code violation, okay? And so sometimes it's easy to find for your city, sometimes it's not. But more than likely, if you're driving in the neighborhood and you see a notice on somebody though, that means that they got a code violation for whatever they had broke for that specific county, whatever rules they had broke for that specific county. Also, you go in a neighborhood, you see somebody's stuff on the side of the road. Most of the time, that means that they got evicted or they got foreclosed on. If you see that, you need to be reaching out to the owner because maybe they need to sell the property because they've been having bad tenants and they tired of being a landlord, or they done foreclose on the property and then you may be able to buy it before it gets to the auction. Okay. And so you want to look for what kind of property. So that was one code violation, which means they're breaking the law because they don't keep up their property. They probably don't take their trash can back on time, which is another sign that the property may be vacant. They also, foreclosure. Sometimes you'll see a notice on a foreclosure, the door of a foreclosure, but most of the time it's too late. If you see the notices on like the window or something, and it'll say like this property is maintained by some company. It just depends on the house. And then what else, you guys? So you got foreclosures, you got tax lien. So I never seen a tax lien notice on somebody's house here in Columbia. Some states may have it, but most of the time you can go to the county website or do a search like tax liens in your city and state or your county. So like our county is Richland County, so I can do like tax sale or tax liens or delinquent taxes, Columbia, South Carolina, or delinquent taxes, Richland County. What other problems is out there? The biggest thing is always going to be the distressed property. So if it's looking like nobody live there, it's looking like they can't afford the upkeep on property, most of the time that's what you're going to run into. You start running into other problems like code violation, probates, which means somebody has passed and somebody inherits the property. Foreclosure and stuff when you start pulling lists, okay? And when we say pull a list, that means you go to an app like PropStream or a list source and you pull a list for specifically for a specific pain point. So anything that will cause a seller pain, cause them heartache, cause them not to sleep at night, then that's somebody that you need to be reaching out to help. Okay? Does that make sense? Oh, Ashley, you said you couldn't see the words. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe y'all can I'm gonna just post it in the chat for you. And y'all can go down. Just scroll down and y'all should be able to find it. Let me see if I can get y'all right. Facebook. Hold on. HTTP is www.house0. I ain't typing this whole thing out. It ain't gonna allow me to do it. Let me see if I can pull it up on my computer. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna try to put it in the chat. And then that way y'all can take a look at it too. All right. That's right, LaShawn needs to see you. All right, now Copy and paste. So let me write this. All right, so y'all take a look at it, and then scroll down, and then you should be able to see it. So that was on. That was on. All right, so that's one. And then more than likely, if you go drop for dollars, the code violation, the code violation list will match up, kind of with the driving for dollars list. It just depends on how much driving for dollars you actually do. Okay. So does everybody understand what motivation is, what it looks like, what it sounds like, that kind of thing? If somebody calling you back and asking you when you gonna buy their house, then more than likely they got motivation. If somebody say, I don't need to sell, I just want to sell, then that ain't really somebody you should be dealing with. If somebody says, I would like to sell, or, I haven't really considered selling, more than likely they're not ready to sell. And so the problem pretty much determines what their timeline on a sale may be. So you may talk to a seller and they may not be ready to sell until a year from now. You may talk to a seller who needed to sell a year ago. So it all depends on, what their language is like, what are they saying to you? How are they answering your questions? That kind of thing. Does that make sense? And we'll get more into, what it sound like, what it look like, when we start talking about sellers. And I ain't see nobody post their homework in the comments. So do y'all not know what the homework is for tonight and tomorrow? Mm-hmm. That's why I miss Zoom, because y'all could just unmute and then we be keeping it rolling. I'm gonna have to get Zoom back. All right, thank you so much. Okay, sound good. Is y'all ready to go to bed? Because it's 9:01, and then I know it was late coming in. But if y'all don't got no more questions or nothing, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Because I feel like we covered a good beat. And then, like I said, tomorrow I'm gonna have the slideshow ready, and we're gonna go over verbiage and that kind of thing. And then we'll kind of deep dive into comps and stuff like that. Thank you, Summer. Right. Find 3 houses in your neighborhood that need work. Or you could go on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor and find a house for sale that needs work based off the pictures that you look at. Okay. Is everybody clear on the homework? Did y'all learn some stuff tonight? I feel like I was all over the place. I feel bad about not having the PowerPoint done. I was legit stressed, and like, y'all should see how far I got. Like, let me show y'all, because the stress was real. And I was just not in a good mood because I didn't get it done. So I'm going to show y'all how far I got. You know what? Facebook, why y'all ain't tell me I could turn my screen around when I be trying to share my screen? Let me do this. But yes, I was definitely built out of shape about not having this PowerPoint down for y'all. Like, it was gonna be so professional and everything. This is as far as I got, y'all, right here. Title page. What you mean I can't turn my phone while live? All right. Title page, another title page, and a blank page. This is how far I got. Like, I was really feeling some type of way. But I'm gonna have y'all right tomorrow. Don't worry. Don't worry, y'all. Y'all pray for me. Say, Lord, please let me get the PowerPoint tomorrow. Please let's have some time to be able to get it done because we need to get everything that she got for us. And y'all also pray that I get dinner done on time so that I ain't scrambling when it's time to get on live. Okay, thank you, Kayla. Okay, good, Summer. Who is my one and only on the Facebook Live? Y'all talk to me. Okay. Whoever it is, I appreciate you for being on Facebook Live. All right, y'all. So if y'all ain't got no more questions, if y'all got a questions, like me in the chat. But that's all I got right now because I just didn't have the slideshow together. And so tomorrow, I'm expecting my email to blow up with 3 addresses from everybody so that we can comp. And if y'all don't bring me no address, I ain't got nothing to comp because I don't want to just be like going on here finding my own stuff and that's gonna be boring. So I want y'all to find stuff for me to comp that y'all actually gonna go after and try to talk to the seller on. And then that way, when we get into talking to sellers, y'all already got 3 properties to go after. When y'all love it, and then y'all got the ARV, y'all got the comps, y'all know what to offer the seller. Like, don't y'all want to be set up like that? Let me know if that sound real good for you to be set up to have the numbers in place, the ARV, know what to offer the seller, and all that. Now I don't want y'all to get offer thirsty though. Don't get offer thirsty. Try to get them offer on the first call, but that should at least boost your confidence enough to say, you know what, but she could did part of the work for me. I feel good about talking to this person to see how I can help them. Y'all let me know if that's beneficial for you. And if y'all gonna send some addresses. And y'all go on the Facebook group and say, Mashika on live tomorrow, Mashika's gonna come addresses. So if you got something that you want come, then send her the email. And then that way, for anybody who couldn't catch it live, then they can see it on there and don't gotta wait till they do the replay. Can y'all do that for me? All right, Ashley. Keep giving me that energy, girl. I guess I don't put the rest of y'all to sleep because I let me see. Denise said something a couple minutes ago, Laura. I just keep skirting them over. But all right, y'all. So I'm gonna pray us out. And I appreciate y'all. I just want you to know that I appreciate y'all. Like, YouTube crew be strong every day. Like the same old people just be showing up, and I appreciate y'all for y'all consistency because that continues to motivate me to be consistent for you guys too and show up. And so again, I do apologize for being late today, and we're gonna do better tomorrow. We're gonna try to do better tomorrow. Hopefully it's good. And everything works out for that. So I do appreciate y'all for sticking it in here with me, being engaging, participating, asking questions, letting me know y'all understand, and just being here with me. Like, that means a lot. That means, you know what, if I can't count on anybody else, when it comes to just an accountability person in real estate, I can count on y'all because y'all show up, and I can appreciate that. So thank you so much, you guys, for showing up each and every evening. Each and every evening. That's a big deal to me. Okay, so thank you. So I'm gonna pray y'all out. Okay, good, Monica. Thank you. So I'm gonna pray y'all out, and then we gonna go to bed. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for this session tonight. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for guiding me, because Lord knows I was just not prepared as much as I wanted to be for these. And so I thank you for everybody who was patient with me tonight, showed up in spite of me being late, and really just supporting me tonight doing this by, answering questions and participating and just listening, taking notes, being involved. So I ask that you bless them, God, as always, for their consistency. and open their ears and hearts to receive and understand, and be able to apply this. So continue to work on their mindsets when it comes to the fear and the limits and beliefs, and let them know that they could be able to do this, with the knowledge that they're going to receive. All they have to do is just implement it. It ain't got to be perfect, it's just got to be done. So God, I thank you for keeping everybody in good health, keeping everybody in their right mind, and allowing them to have the support and encouragement needed to be able to come every single night and get what you should have for them. And so I said that everybody has a great night's sleep, and that everybody is safe tonight, and that everybody is well rested in the morning, and have a great, 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 great day tomorrow. And that I'm prepared better tomorrow. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all. That's all I got. So I hope you guys have a great, great night tonight, and that I'll see you guys again tomorrow evening, and on time, 7 o'clock. We gonna make it happen. So thank you guys again. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow evening. Give me my hearts, Kara. Thank you.